you decide to look further into a network marketing business in order to generate more cash flow for your family, I would recommend reviewing the following 4 elements. First is the product or service. And on the product or service, I would ask 5 important questions. 1, do you like it? Is it something you would feel comfortable sharing with others? 2, is there a recognized need in the marketplace? It's hard to create a need if one isn't naturally there. Third, does the product meet that need? Does it solve a legitimate problem for consumers? And fourth, is it priced to sell? Can it compete in the marketplace? And fifth, is it priced for profit? Is there enough margin for the company and the distributor to be able to generate income for the long term? If you can answer the questions on the product to your satisfaction, the next element to consider is the company itself. Is it well run? Do you believe in the founders or the management team? Do you feel they have what it takes to go all the way? See, it doesn't matter how good the product is if the management can't take care of the company. Good management can change with the times. They can handle adversity. They can make good decisions. Make sure you choose a company that can serve you for a long time. The third element to consider is the compensation plan. And with that, there are 3 important things to look at. First, a brand new person needs to be able to generate some money fairly quickly. It may be an obvious reason, but you can probably imagine the ripple effect of a distributor getting involved and having even a small victory fast. That can only help with the overall success of the organization. Second, a person should be able to develop a moderate part-time income in a reasonable period of time. As they develop their network and as their sales grow, they should be able to enjoy more benefits. And third, for the people who are really serious, for those who decide to really go pro in the network marketing profession, there should be the possibility to make a serious full-time income if they work hard and are committed to developing their skills. If you're comfortable with the product, the company, and the compensation plan, the last thing you should look at is the support that will be made available to you. Does the company have a website? Does it have a solid online reporting tool? Do they have comprehensive training available? Do they host events to help you build your business? If you decide to do this, what kind of a support system can you plug into? Choosing a network marketing company is a personal decision. But evaluating the 4 elements of product, company, compensation plan, and support is a great place to start.
Is the company promising that you're going to get rich quick or that you can make a lot of money without a lot of effort? That's a red flag. Is there a product that you really believe in that you think can be sold? Or are you being told by salespeople or the person who's trying to recruit you or by the company itself that don't worry about the product, all you have to do is recruit other people into the business? Red flag, warning sign. If you're hearing that, take a second or even a third look.
Get to know the customers, the products, the business, have some success, and see where the opportunities might take you to move up in the organization.
You want to find out, how concerned are they about my education, my training, and my development? Is there a space for me to grow? Most important question.
Learn everything that you can about the product. Make sure it's something that you believe in, and learn everything you can about the industry and work that system.
You have to be very passionate about whatever that company is doing.
I would get involved. You can always test drive anything, the product, the service, the community, and then lean into it a bit. If it feels good, then lean into it a lot.
Behind me is the Lincoln Memorial. And this is a place where Martin Luther King Jr. had his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. And at that speech, he talked about his dream for equality for everyone around the world, and that's a noble dream. But I think more people need to remember what it was like when they were kids and the dream was still alive in them, before it got beaten out of them by reality, by this paycheck, by these responsibilities, and by having to live for this job to pay the bills. I think people need to remember that, go back to that. Once they know that there's a better way, I think their future is going to be much brighter. They can live a better life. So if you're considering getting involved in a network marketing company, let me offer you just a few pieces of advice. First, network marketing isn't perfect. It's emotional, it's challenging. Like any entrepreneurial venture, It can have its up days and its down days. But if you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, it's just better. Second, if you're gonna do it, decide to be professional. Decide to go pro. It's better to do that than just be this amateur sticking your toe in the water. Third, as any professional, you're gonna have to learn some new skills. And I promise you, inside of the network marketing profession, they're not too difficult to learn. Fourth, like anything worthwhile, it's gonna take some time. Don't expect that you're gonna get to the finish line right out of the gate. And fifth, it's worth it. It's worth it to be able to take charge of your life again. It's worth it to be able to control your own financial situation. It's worth it for the people you're going to be able to spend time with. It's worth it for the things you're going to be able to see and the experiences you're going to be able to experience. It's worth it for the causes you're going to be able to contribute to, the lives you're going to be able to touch, the customers you're going to be able to help, the friendships you're going to be able to develop. I promise you, it's worth it. Remember, most people are searching for answers just like you are. But I do have to tell you the catch to network marketing. If there is a catch, if you want to understand this from an emotional point of view, people say, well, it sounds too good to be true. It's not, it's hard work. But here's the catch. Most people still don't understand it. So you're going to have to endure the loss of social esteem from ignorant people. The uneducated will think less of you. Now, if you can handle that, you're on your way. If that's going to destroy you, you know what? Entrepreneurship in general probably isn't in your future. If you can face that catch, you can become unstoppable.
I want everyone to really contemplate this if they're not in network marketing. You're in a job, you probably have a mortgage, you have rent, you have debt, whatever's going on. You're in a prison.
You work just hard enough to keep them from firing you, and they pay you just enough to keep you from quitting. Come on! I've been there, done that, and bought that t-shirt.
In network marketing, if you run into failure, it's really just a homework lesson for yourself. There's no one to blame.
You really have no excuse not to be successful. You just don't. People don't want to hear that, but there's so much available to you.
If you want to be a good network marketer, be a student to the people above you, be a fellow traveler to the people on the same level, and be a teacher to those below, and know when it's appropriate to do which.
People who are not afraid of asking people to buy things, or not afraid of persuading people with a chance they may say no, these people own the future.
Nothing happens until something moves. So you got to go move, you got to go do something, or nothing's going to change in your life.
In the beginning, you're going to do a lot of things that you don't get paid for. But as you go down the road, you get paid for a lot of things that you don't do.
And your job is rehabilitate the spirit, the entrepreneur spirit in all of us. Get it back.
Either give it a strong yes or a strong no, but no wishy-washy, dilly-dally stuff in the middle.
There's dreams and there are nightmares, but I believe that the biggest nightmare of all is when you don't pursue your dream.
You're going to see some monumental growth in this profession. It's an exciting, exciting time to be involved with the network marketing profession. The next 10 years, I see just exponential growth.
When that tipping point comes, it's not a matter of asking somebody, have you ever heard about network marketing? You're really asking them, which company are you building your wealth in?
We are here to fix the world, to improve relationships with other people, to improve other lives. And the real reward comes as an entrepreneur in any level from teaching somebody something and watching them soar. There is no greater reward.
Life's too short to spend it living someone else's dream instead of your own. It's too short to spend it living at a fraction of your potential. Can being an entrepreneur be a challenge at times? Sure. But here's what you get in exchange. It can be yours. Something that you built, something that you created, something that you made happen. This balloon represents your dream. It represents entrepreneurship. My wish for all of you is that you would reach out and grab it. The choice is up to you.
Yes, awesome. Everybody's muted.
Grab that balloon.
That's right. Jump for it.
If you watch the first 45 minutes or so, where they lead up to all this and how to start, how to find the company you want to be in, how to become an entrepreneur and why, that is such an awesome, inspirational video right there on its own. I really can't wait for tomorrow to start.
Yeah, I grabbed that video. I grabbed that balloon in April of 1964.
Wow.
Well, I think all of us here are doing this because we have an entrepreneurial bone in our body. We've all tried something somewhere in our life.
Yeah.
But then you have to have a job. If you didn't get into network marketing, actually learn how to do it and push yourself, we're all stuck in these jobs.
Yeah.
But the world has changed.
I had a job. It was the worst day of my life.
Love your honesty, Potato.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the purpose of that video is I think a lot of people like Eric, where he said that they still don't understand network marketing, and like you said, Brady, times have changed for not understanding it. You have to find something like he was going through. And that's why he went through the checklist. We already know we're in something that has a checklist. But if somebody's new, trying to do something new, go through that checklist. Don't start something that's going to be a waste of time. But start something. It's going to be essential. And I think, we're at the beginning of all this. A few years from now, everybody's going to have to be in some kind of business on their own,
Yeah. But Don, I can tell you for sure what the points that he made were so critical, and there's the type of the company and so forth and so on. There's one thing for sure, that those points are very critical and important, and I firmly believe I only know 2 companies that match all of them, and LifeWave is one of them. We have a future here. Because if you watch David Smith at all, and during that convention, you see we're here forever. The only thing that would stop us from growing with this company is if we lost David Smith. And hopefully he has it set up for his situation if he's gone. And that's what happened with the last company I was with. They didn't have it set up. So this company is here for our future.
Well, we all know about this company, and it hits all the bullet points. But overall, I mean, just the group of people that are on this right here. You look at Tom, motivation mindset. I think I'm more of a technical person, videos and things like that. Everybody's got their own way of doing and presenting, but rather than reaching out directly to people saying, hey, do you need a health and wellness product? You got to get them to understand that you're looking for a vehicle to produce an income for yourself on the side, and then let them make the decision. Well, what are you into? What are you doing for that? Well, I'm in health and wellness. I'm in this company that hits all these bullet points. And then possibly they come in for the $25 to meet people like us. And they say, well, how are you doing it? Well, I do this and you do that, and that person does that. But combined, it's all working for everybody.
I guess I need to review that $25 option more, because I never knew about it. I saw the wave, the patch, I bought it, period.
Well, the $25 is not just the entry into LifeWave. The $25 is the entry into this group.
That's the
what I like about that is somebody has to get their credit card out for a small little $25 purchase, and then that's not such a big deal, and then they could get upgrade down the road. That's the way I look at it.
Well, like Mark said in the past, just the training alone in social media's new Hollywood, the LoveBoat, the training alone is worth thousands of dollars for somebody to come in, sit in these groups, Tuesday night meetings, learn, and use that information for their own company. Not to say that they move into LifeWave somewhere along the line.
But Brady, you remember the the first thing on that list was always the product. The product, but you have to develop a passion for or belief in, or nothing else matters. It's almost like if they don't have a good product, what's that deal where it was so popular years ago where you give people money and they give people money? As a pyramid. And otherwise, if you don't have a good product, it's just a pyramid.
Well, there's a big difference between a pyramid and a pyramid scheme and network marketing. A pyramid scheme has no tangible product whatsoever.
Exactly. And that's still the point, is the product. The product has to sustain the business.
Yeah.
I love it.
He says that.
LifeWave is the answer. Life.
Well, LifeWave is the answer, but the answer to getting people to know what LifeWave is finding the way that you're going to invite and present. No matter how you're bringing them in, a $25 to get into this group, doing videos on training on how to do videos, whatever it is, they're going to bring people to attract to you personally, and then introduce them to the LifeWave.
Right. Build a relationship, then the invitation. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with Tom. That's what I was going to say too. The most important part of all this, and everyone's kind of missed it, even Eric Worre didn't mention it, and Dee, we were talking about this before the call, but I think building even if you know the person, you have to rebuild that relationship and right away and start, finding out where they're at, finding out what's going on with them. And then once that happens, like there's a state change there. Now they're interested in what you're doing. And then you're approaching it with all
everybody's different. Everybody's different. The guy who introduced me in my last company, I never gained respect for him, but we had 3 ways with different people. Finally, I talked to 3 different people before I finally said, I'm in. So that rapport you're talking about was not established with my immediate sponsor.
Okay.
It was established that's the value of 3 ways, 3-way talks. Yeah. Interesting. Everybody is different. Their motivation, their hook is different, and we have to find that hook. And that going from the heart is the way to do it, heart to heart.
Right. Right.
You can get to know the people. If you can, that's what I like about social media is you can kind of almost get a feel for the people, and then you can kind of almost see where you can start the lines that you're going to start to talk about this company and about, the possibilities. Is I find if I can know the people, I can know kind of, the more I know about my niche market, the more I can know about the pains and struggles that they're enduring. Well, then I can invite them. I can use an invitation of pain, In other words, a solution to a pain, not inviting them to take a look at an opportunity or a product. I can invite them to a solution to a pain or problem that's in their lives, because there's 2 motivators in lives, okay? The achievement of desire and the aversion of pain. And most people think the achievement of desire is the most powerful, yet the fact is the aversion of pain is the most powerful because it's an autonomic nervous reaction to us. And the whole thing is, and when you can start to engineer your conversations around a solution for pain, what happens is their subconscious is constantly looking for a solution to keep them out of a painful problem. And the thing is, that's how you can create content on social media that draws them in and has them stop that scroll, because their subconscious is the one that says, I want to read this. This is pain. This guy sees the pain I'm going through. He knows what I'm going through. I can relate to him. And that's what has them stop and take a look at it and start to realize that you're a person who can provide a solution to pain. I'm not offering people a patch to help them with anything. I'm offering them a solution to a painful situation in their lives, whether it be a lack of income, whether it be that aches and pains, or want to reverse their aging process. But if the whole thing is, when you start to identify your niche market, And that's what's great about social media. You can kind of start to figure out who these people are. And once you know the niche market, you'll be able to identify the pains, that niche market. They all share a common pain or problem. And that allows you to start to craft content that's magnetic to those type of people, because they see that content and it's relevant to them and it draws them in. It's keeping the other people away. So the more you know about your marketplace and your prospective prospect, the more better off you are. And it takes a little time to lay this all up, but eventually that'll pay a big dividend for you, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. I got a sale last night as I was going to bed, came in, posted a sale from someone who had pictures of me from 1978. I mean, that was a connection. Wow. 1978 blew me away.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, we're sure in the right place at the right time right now.
Yeah. And I think you're so right, Tom. And I was thinking about, like, how do you learn your market without paid ads? Because I know, like, with paid ads, they give you a lot of the metrics of your demographics, but it is also just showing up consistently on social media and then being able to see who's interacting back, whether it is just likes at first or which posts or shares, or for like you do lives a lot, right? And so like which ones are they commenting the most on, or like what part. And so I think that is something that we do have to like figure out how to be super consistent on, just so that we can try to figure out who's paying attention to us, what do they want to see, right?
And what I found, like with social media, is, see, you know, you can create your own niche market. You know, whatever you want, who do you want to service? You know, do you want to service the young working mom who gets sick to her stomach every morning when she goes to drop those kids off at daycare? She opens the door and has to leave her kids with a stranger. Is that the target you want to reach? Well, then you start to craft content that's going to attract that person, you know, and you become consistent with it. And what's nice with social media, what's nice about Facebook, is you can create friends lists for various niche markets. So you could post a piece of content at 8 o'clock that's going out to the young working moms. And then at 8:15, you could post one that goes to the six-figure execs who travel 5-6 nights a week and are away from their home, raising their kids over 15-minute phone calls. You could craft content for that. And now you're not diluting your prior piece of content because it's going out to a new group of people. And now what happens is eventually these people start popping in, and you know their pains because they've identified with your content. Now you know how to craft that conversation. I call it my invitation to pain, where, you know, I basically, you know, it's simple 4 parts. It's, you know, first thing I want to do is I want to explore, expose, agitate, and close. You know, I'm going to explore to find out what their pain is. And I'll know a little bit in advance because I know the market that I'm attacking. So I know their common pains and problems. But then what I do is when I'm having the conversation with them or whatever, I'm gonna start to explore, start to ask the right questions to where they start to come up and tell me what that problem is. That's the expose the pain. Now what happens is when I get them to expose that pain, they're telling me why their situation sucks or what their problems are. Then I go to the next step, which is the agitate. Then I like to agitate that pain. I say, well, just curious, you know, it sounds like a typical situation, sounds almost like what I went through. I'm just curious, what are you doing about it so it doesn't happen in the future? I start to agitate it so that they start to identify, well, you know what, I'm not doing anything. And if they're not doing anything and I'm agitating that, well, if you're not doing anything, do you expect any change down the future? And now they're like, no. And they're telling me what their pain is. They're telling me that they don't have a solution for it. Now I'm able to offer them a solution. Would you be open to finding out a solution that's helped me and a couple of other people I know with that same problem? And they say, well, sure, you know, sure, I'd love to. Now you get to close that pain. And this was kind of neat because you can almost set up a self-induced close too. That's something I can tell you about. But the thing is, now you can start to use future casing. Now you've activated that pain. They're aware of that pain now because most people have that pain tucked up so close to them and they think they're going to go through the rest of their life with it. They don't think there's a solution out there. You just opened their eyes to a possible solution, and you're offering them a possible solution to it. Whether they're interested or not, you're offering them a solution. But the thing is, and same thing, subconsciously, I'm connecting with their subconscious who's identifying, I got this pain, I got this problem. You mean there's a solution to it? And now they're open to taking a look. Now I use future casing. Now I roll in, besides the aversion of pain as a motivator. Now I combine the aversion of pain and the achievement of desire with it. Now I'll start the future case. I was just curious if I could show you a solution that's worked for me, and if it could change, and if you started to take action on it today, and you could finally achieve that success, in a couple of years, not have to warehouse your kids in daycare, be able to raise them from home and experience. Would that be something that would be, what would that do for your life? And then you get to tell that, they get to tell you how that would change their lives. Now they've just told you their problem. They've just told you what their life would be like if they don't fix that problem. And now they're telling you what their life is going to look like when they fix it. Now what happens is when I leave, most people aren't in the buying mode. About 2% of the people are ready to jump in at any time. They need more information. They need to make a decision. They need to chew this stuff over. But what I like to do is when I'm done with them, when we part our ways, I say, listen, do me a favor. Tomorrow morning, when you're dropping your kids off at daycare, when you go to reach for that knob, just ask yourself, is this going to change if I don't do anything today? And what would it be like if you didn't have to do this anymore and you could raise them at home? If this solution I had for you was allowed you to stay at home, raise your children from home, instill your values in them instead of the people who own that daycare center, and not have to send off half your income that you're making for a job just to support that daycare. So now the next morning they show up at daycare and they're dropping their kids off and they reach for that doorknob and they think about you. You just set up what's known as the self-induced close. So every morning they drop their kids off. They're thinking about you and your solution. You don't even have to follow up with them. They're following up with themselves every time they do that, because you've connected with that pain on that painful level. And they know
I gotta say that was awesome, but this is gonna end in about 15 seconds. And this was one of the best meetings we've had. You should be on GoPro.
It's better all the time. GoPro is a good thing. But yeah, we're learning new skills and it will take time and it's worth it. Those three things that he drilled home. And GoPro, we're not dilly-dallying. We're doing this professionally, not just one toe in the water. So that's cool. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.
Thanks, Tom.
Great,
Thanks,
guys.
guys. Thanks, Tom.
Awesome. Okay. Ciao.